Welcome to The Creative Influencer, where we discuss all things creative with an emphasis on influencers. The Creative Influencer is hosted by John Pfeiffer. John is an entertainment attorney in Santa Monica, California, who represents influencers and other creatives.
This is Minisode 10 of the 7th season of the Creative Influencer podcast. Today we'll discuss contract review and the systematic approach I use to review brand agreements that are presented to my influencer clients. The first thing I do when I receive an influencer brand agreement is to confirm that the agreement actually reflects the basic terms that were agreed to. Many times the person who negotiated the deal with me does not accurately communicate the deal terms to the person drafting the agreement. That results in a contract that doesn't match the agreed deal. That's when we push back. We tell the brand or agency that the agreement has to be changed to track our deal. So, this is a time for an important aside. Rarely does a brand ask the influencer to provide an agreement. Instead, the influencer will be presented with the brand's, quote, standard agreement. And that is exactly what they will say. This is our standard agreement. You should take that with a grain of salt. With rare exceptions, agreements are always negotiable, and that's where I come in. So back to my review of brand agreements. After confirming that the agreement reflects the terms that were agreed to, I perform a, again in quotes, high-level review. A contract and any attachments may have been handled by a number of people over time, with varying skill levels and knowledge, often developed using cut and paste techniques, using various other documents prepared in a hurry, and so on. As obvious as it sounds, I read the entire contract with the goal of drafting an agreement that is understandable to anyone who reads it. Readability is paramount. With that in mind, I highlight any provision that I do not understand or is unclear with a yellow highlighter. Statements that are too long, convoluted, or poorly expressed must be fixed. Now is the time for my, again, quotes, deep dive review. I read the contract again, but look for the following things. First, ambiguities. Is there a word or phrase that could mean different things? Is there a provision that is vague or too broad? Is there a statement or conclusion that doesn't make sense? Then I look for incomplete provisions. Is there a statement or idea that is not fully expressed in the agreement? Next, inconsistencies. Are there inconsistencies where different parts of a statement or document do not match? Or worse, contradictions where a statement is opposite to the one that appears elsewhere in the agreement. Next, punctuation. Yes, punctuation. The meaning of a statement can be adversely affected by the placement or lack of punctuation, or the use of incorrect punctuation. Then finally, I look at terms, the defined and undefined terms. A capitalized word indicates there is a defined term, and these should be clearly defined. There you have it. That's what I look for when I review brand agreements. It's not glamorous, but it's one of the most important things I do for my influencer clients. In our next minisode, we'll discuss the parties to a brand agreement.
That's it for this time. If you enjoyed our podcast, please write a review on iTunes and tell your friends to subscribe. If you have any questions about influencers or suggestions for future episodes, email them to John at Pfeiffer@pfeifferlaw.com. Thank you for listening.